Okay, here we are. Good afternoon, everybody, or morning, or evening, or whatever it is where you are, and welcome to the CL Visit. Colin here, and my trusty coffee. And Jeff, how are you doing?
Doing well.
That's good. So we are just talking about your day trip to Texas, huh?
Yeah, to El Paso.
Good deal. Went off without a hitch. It's all good.
Yeah, well, I'm back here.
Yeah,
I was
didn't get
tempted to
picked up.
go across to Juarez, but it didn't quite do it this time.
Yeah, didn't want to risk it this time, huh?
Yeah, I didn't want to get a tariff put on me.
That's pretty good. Yeah. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome for joining us. And appreciate everyone who's already here watching the live stream, the live gab, pretty much. So, I'm going to be pretty fairly short with this live stream today. So I've been kind of under the weather, more of a kind of a head cold, chest cold. It's all the dust that we have here right now, and we're really into our summer months now, and compacted by or compounded by the fact that they just brought like this main road here right by my house. You know, the main road's about 30 feet away or so, and it was in really bad shape from the rain, potholes and everything. It's dirt road, and they came in with the grader and they dug it all up and like flattened it out and stuff. But that brings up all like the soft dirt on top, and then once the road's in better shape, the cars just come by like it's the Indy 500. I mean, they just go crazy, and you got vehicles all day and picking dust up. I mean, it's like those movies, where you see a car going down the dirt road and all the dust behind them. That's how it is here all day, and it just kills me. I really get killed by this dust, so I've been coughing and just it's been terrible. So, Jeff, I'll throw in some commentary and I'll let you talk here. So I'm just struggling to. This is guys. I was like sitting there. It was about 15 minutes before, and I'm like, I was looking at the time, and I thought, I still have time I can just cancel this. I'll go to bed. But this is pure love. I'm here out of pure love and for everybody, and for the message and for the activism. So even if it's shorter, we'll get through it. We'll battle through it. So I guess to start off, we didn't really have a particular topic in mind, more just a conversation. But I thought it was kind of interesting, Jeff. We didn't really get a chance to talk or get deeper into the recent analysis that I did, and then that video that I guess apparently YouTube is conspiring to
Yeah,
make sure we're watching the same things for some reason. What was kind of creepy too, though, was like I didn't realize it until I saw like a comment on on the actual video. If you go back and watch that video, that guy doesn't blink once during the whole video.
oh man,
It's creepy. I went back. I saw somebody like if you want to see one blink, it's at this minute, and he put the minute stamp. And I was like, what? I was like, oh my god. I was like, is this guy real? It was like this AI priest or something, or it was kind of creepy.
oh
But
man.
what was interesting is what you mentioned about maybe you can kind of go a little bit deeper into what you observed about that, because you mentioned something about like the protocol that the church has.
Yeah. So, like, what I found interesting when I watched it, it's like for me, even if I don't, there are a couple things. For one, even if I don't necessarily agree with Catholic doctrine, like at least the reason he gave was a reason, as far as the whole chain of events, as far as what the priest snitch on and when he can't, when he can say something and when he can't. And it's like, if you're actually giving a confession under certain in like a specific set of circumstances, he's got to keep his mouth closed for this and that reason. But if it's outside of those circumstances, and there's something illegal or somebody's in danger, he has to say something. So, on the one side, I found it interesting that, even as far as some of the doctrine I may not agree with, but at least the reason he gave for having to keep his silence was something based on some kind of doctrine that they had, as opposed to in Watchtower, it's like the Wild West. There's no rules it's just basically the only real, I guess, quote unquote doctrine you can have, or that they have, is to protect their image. Like, that's the only real doctrine they have as far as not speaking out, is to protect their image. So I found that interesting. It was just like, wow, I might not agree with what a Catholic might have to say or their doctrine, but geez, it actually, if I were a Catholic, it's actually pretty reasoned.
Absolutely, yeah. That makes sense, and it's when it comes to the Catholic Church, again, disclaimer: neither of us is supporting or condoning or anything. We're just having a objective conversation about this. The Catholic Church didn't just make this up yesterday, right? This procedure with confessions has existed for like 1,000 years or more. This has been around for a long time. They got a pretty uh, there's a whole procedure set up with all of that. Whereas Watchtower, like we saw, first of all, have always denied the fact that they even have any clergy class, and then it really came up during the Colorado lawsuit, where all of a sudden, in a panic, they went running to claim that status and then take advantage of the clergy secrecy, the confession secrecy. So they don't respect it whatsoever, right? They don't have any. They had no procedure prior to that, like you're saying. They had no procedure set up, with the any type of procedure of talking to the elders or a judicial committee. There's no set way of how it goes or how it's set up. Other than, oh, you have a prayer and then but other than that, it just, with the Catholic Church, and I know because I attended the Catholic Church for over 5 years. There are even for confessions, it's not just like you walk into the church and want to confess with the priest, right? Anytime you want. There are times set up for confessions. Even that is regulated. So there's a time period when when okay, well, this week or whenever it is, there's going to be confessions, and then you can go in during that time period, and everything's very, very regulated. So you just see Watchtower just kind of like, oh, we're gonna latch on to whoever and just take on, which they've never used. They have no protocol themselves, and I don't think they have any intention of having one. I don't think they did after that either, in any way. Just simply was the fact that they needed something to kind of cover themselves and get out of the shit that they were in with that lawsuit, and so they latched onto that. So it really, it's just petty. It's petty. It's cheap. And you look at that. Even the Catholic Church probably looking at them like, what? Who are you guys? What do you mean you're gonna claim this as your clergy and all this? Wow, that's new. That is insane. So yeah, it just if they had, I think even if they had, I think a type of confession set up the way the Catholic Church does, that would probably diminish the amount of things that goes on in the congregations a lot more, because the feeling that I got from going to the Catholic Church, and this is not even, coming from me, that I wasn't raised that way, or I wasn't raised Catholic or anything like that, but I had a feeling that the confessions were very, very serious. It was like a very solemn time. It was something really, the way people view the priest, at least I'm talking from here, at least that's my experience, the way they view the priest, the way they view the church, and their authority, basically, as the guy said in the video, like to take on Jesus' role and give you forgiveness and all that. That's like really, really serious. It's really important to them. So I'm pretty sure it's not every day that somebody comes in and just, if it was like a week ago, I don't think somebody's going into the church and saying, hey, a couple of days ago, I just killed somebody. I don't think that happens a lot. That's probably pretty rare. If it does happen, it might have been, for example, somebody, maybe years ago, maybe they killed somebody or killed people when they were maybe at war, or maybe they, something happened, they killed somebody 30 years ago, or, stuff like that. But I think that people that if they just committed a crime, they're not going to be at the church telling people about it. They're not going to risk it, if it's really recent. So, hey, Justin, welcome. I want to welcome everybody. I'm sorry I just got talking, and if you're just joining us, so Jay, CJ, hello, welcome. Justin, Este, hello, welcome thank you for being here. So let me post the. Let me see here. I'm forgetting how to do this. Okay, I gotta copy the link and then go here to the comment section. Let's see. Give me a second, guys. Here, forgive my slowness. Okay, there it is. So, Justin, if you want to come on in. Okay, the more the merrier. So yeah, that's
And what I found interesting too, just thinking back as far as what the priest was, there were a few things. It's like, well, for one, it was just cool, the idea, because somebody who's never gone to like any kind of Catholic service or anything, but the priest was like, yeah, like somebody's not just going to show up in his office one day and start, saying stuff. And if they do, then that's kind of outside of confession. But also he was saying too, like, if somebody is in confession and spilling their guts out over something serious or something criminal, the priest was like, he's not going to tell that person, like, look, you got to go to the cops. But he may try to like steer you in that direction. Like, look, if you want to get things right, this might be one good chance or opportunity to do it. Like, do you think an elder's going to do that?
Right.
Do you think an elder's going to do that? Hey, Justin.
G'day. Survived for Alfred.
Yeah, how bad was it?
Oh, it was really bad. Nikki and I live behind Tambourine Mountain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can hear you.
Sheltered from the cyclone because of the mountain, but people on the coast, there was a couple of roofs blown off. I think 2, but lots of trees blown down, and and flooding, and now it's just raining and stuff. And we call them cyclones here, but they're the same as a hurricane.
Yeah.
And it was a Hurricane 2, then it got downgraded to a Hurricane 1. And now it's just a tropical low. And it knocked down a few trees, were knocked down on houses. But it's the first one Brisbane's got since 1974.
Oh, wow.
They had 1974, I was only 13, and they had Cyclone Wanda.
Wow. Been a long time then.
Yeah, usually cyclones or hurricanes come at northern Queensland, like on the pointy bit. Yeah, it's been like, usually they don't, but because the ocean temperature was 27, 28 degrees Celsius, which is about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. If the ocean gets to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, you get hurricanes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting.
So
In
you
fact,
want the ocean temperature to be low 80, because once it goes above 80, hurricanes, cyclones, typhoons,
yeah.
that's when you'll get the...
Yeah, it's interesting. I was just watching some information about how for the Atlantic area they were coming out with the next storms for the next season, and interestingly, even in the Atlantic, the water temperature didn't go down all that much. It stayed extremely warm for this time of the year, and they were actually saying too that there was a possibility of some kind of storm that could be even in like March, April, which was unheard of. You know, I don't think in my life I've ever heard of a storm, you know, like in these months right now. So, but like you said, it has to do with the water temperature though.
Yeah.
So I think we'll probably have to get used to this. This is with the warming temperatures, we're going to see more and more of these irregular weather patterns, and that's not even irregular anymore. This is going to be normal.
Yeah.
Very early.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, climate change. Yeah, climate change with the little did they know back in 1910 when they had petrol motor cars, whenever petrol motor cars came out, I think Henry Ford invented the car in 1886.
Mm-hmm.
The first horseless carriage was 1886.
Correct.
And gasoline, petrol, we call it petrol. This petrol was going to cause all this trouble.
Absolutely.
Like fossil
who
fuels,
knew, right? Who would have known? So maybe somebody can. This is a good talking point here. What Estee mentioned, maybe Estee or one of you guys knows. I've never heard of this before. What is a Mooney?
Oh, you know who it is. It's the Unification Church in Korea.
Oh,
it was the
okay.
guy. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Talk about bouncing around from one cult to another, huh?
Yeah, they're the ones. They do those mass marriages where like 1,000 people get married at once.
Right. Okay, yeah. I was like Mooney. What? Okay, interesting.
And that was Stephen Hassan. That's what he was.
Yeah.
I got baptized into the Catholic Church in 1973 when I was 12 years old.
Okay, that's interesting.
And
wow, you were pretty old
later, huh?
When I was 12.
Yeah.
And I used to walk to the Catholic Church every Sunday on my own, and the family were atheist agnostic. All atheist agnostic. I was the only one that went to church, and my big brother and sister used to bag me out for believing in God.
Well, why did you go?
Yeah, and I went to church every Sunday, and I used to pray to Mary, like, Hail Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed art the fruit of thine womb. And I had rosemary beads, and I'd do 7 Hail Marys and 1 Our Father.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Welcome, Elle.
Hey, Ellie.
Hey, Elle.
Hi. Hello,
G'day.
everyone.
There's a comment for you, Justin. Cass L says, Justin, I enjoy your videos about the bats. Very interesting.
Oh, the fruit bat videos, yeah.
So you got fans.
I love the fruit
here.
bats. I love the fruit bats. They're good.
Yeah. How are you doing, Elle?
Good. I just ate a Korean dog. Have you guys ever had one of those before?
No.
I've never heard of it.
It's gross.
Korean,
don't eat it.
Korean dog. Oh, okay. Yeah. Give us a review.
Not
it's terrible.
I ordered it with the sweet potato on the outside, and then I don't know if this is an American thing or what, but they put sprinkled sugar on top. It was so weird. Yeah. Anyway, how is everyone?
Doing well.
Well, we're here just gabbing away. What's going on with you? In your car, running around?
Yeah, just the girls wanted to go shopping, so they're doing their thing. And I was hungry.
How's the night shift treating you? Are you back on the night shift now?
Oh, I don't want to talk
Killing you?
about it.
No? Okay.
If that's okay.
I got you.
I usually talk
No
about
problem.
everything, but
Yeah,
No problem.
Bob.
hello,
No problem
my
at all.
friend.
Yeah, Bobby. What's up, Nick?
How's the weather with everybody?
Nikki?
It's gloomy here.
You okay, Nikki?
Yeah, we had snow overnight.
Oh, snow.
What? Oh, do you want some pikelets?
Yeah, it snows here.
Radio.
Wow.
I'm gonna make Nikki some pikelets.
That sounds good. So yeah, we were just Nell, since you're just dropping in now, we didn't really have. You can talk about whatever you want. We don't have a topic here really. Just kind of a gabbing, but we were just talking. We were comparing and analyzing that last video I did about the explanation of how the confession works in the Catholic Church.
I don't,
and all of that.
I've been watching every one of your videos, but I don't remember that part.
Oh, you didn't see that one? Okay.
Did it just come out yesterday?
I think so, yeah. I just mentioned, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you get a chance, but there's a prelude to that. In case you don't know, like I shared a video on the community post.
Okay.
Of a Catholic priest who's describing, basically, he breaks down how the confession protocol works.
Okay.
In the church, and then off of that, I made a video talking about how, I mean, to me, it was just kind of, it's kind of amazing how they've created this whole institution built around that. Where that's, this is from like 1,000+ years ago, and how they cover up, a person can come into confession and basically confess to whatever, and they cannot by any circumstances repeat it or talk about it. And he said that you'd be excommunicated. I would be excommunicated immediately and like forever from the church and all that. But it's like, and I used a example of in the book of John where Jesus healed this blind man from birth. He was blind from birth, and he healed him on the Sabbath. And then the Pharisees were harassing him, and
Okay, yes,
yeah,
I
and
do
then
remember this now.
Yeah, and then so basically he gets expelled from the religion. He gets expelled from the synagogue because they said, "Oh, you're a follower of Jesus," which now to us in this time period is like funny, right? It's like you get expelled, and then Jesus was right there, and he's like, "Hey, come on with me." He's like, "You just got expelled, huh? Come on over here," right? And so, but it's interesting how there's so much fear of. And this is not just the witnesses. This is like in the Catholic Church, Catholic priests, this fear of, oh, I'm going to get excommunicated. I can't repeat anything you say. And yet, okay, but the offender, he gets to, live happily with his forgiveness. And then there's the victim with their life destroyed. And you're going to sit there and not say anything about it. I mean, it's like, to me, it seems like, as Jesus said, if you're cast out by the world, but you're gaining your soul, right? And because, okay, well, if you get excommunicated from the church, well, okay, but what are you gaining? You're gaining your salvation, right? Because you're doing the right thing. Maybe it wasn't the legal thing according to the church, but it was the just thing. It was the right thing. And that's what happened with Jesus, right? You can't heal on the Sabbath,
Yeah,
and it was like, well, yeah, I know that. Yeah. And Jesus is like, yeah, I know.
Like what, what's more important?
Right, right. So,
Yeah.
but it's funny how what we were talking about is that okay, well, that's one thing. I mean, the Catholic Church didn't just come up with this yesterday. I mean, they've been doing this for a long time. They have a whole protocol set up of how confessions work and all that. Whereas Watchtower, just like whatever, they just jumped on this, like at the Colorado lawsuit that they had.
Uh-huh.
They just out of the blue, the lawyers just jumped on that and were like, oh, all of a sudden, oh yeah, yeah, we have clergy too, and they're just like, what?
Yeah,
you know,
right.
so it's
Yeah.
just like you can see how like how they're desperate, how desperate they are, but they have no intention of like instituting that, or it's just whatever works to get us out of trouble in the moment.
Yeah.
We'll jump on that and do it, but I'm just, that's what really kind of upset me when I watched that video was like, how convenient for the abusers, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
They get all these exceptions and considerations, and the victim,
Yeah.
what about them?
No, who cares?
Oh,
Who cares?
yeah,
Yeah. They're
yeah,
nothing. I mean, that is how they treat it. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah. I'm saying that facetiously. I'm starting to get hot, but
yeah.
yeah, I've had
But
that
anyway,
experience a few times of,
right,
you go
right,
there for help, you're asking for help, but all you get is shunned. Isn't that what you were talking about in that video?
right.
Here's your pie clips.
Yeah, well, that's the whole
Where
thing.
are
Is
you, Bobby?
that's what
Oh,
the.
there you go. I'll put them there, honey. Oh, do you want another cup of coffee?
Hold on here.
Do you want another cup of coffee?
Yes,
Hold on,
please.
hold
Baby,
on.
coffee?
Oh,
Baba?
yes, over here.
So what I was talking about was we were talking about before. We don't want to get too um we don't want to get too deep into that stuff, but the I lost my train of thought now. Oh, what you're just saying about you go to the people that you think are there to help you
Yeah.
for help, and then what ends up happening? You end up being like blamed, right? You go there looking
Yeah.
for help, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden you come out of a meeting
Mhm.
being like, man, they just walked all over me, and
Yeah.
so it's crazy. But anyway, we were talking about, Justin was mentioning how they just had a um they just had like a typhoon there, a cyclone,
Yeah.
and it was
I
the
was
first
Cyclone,
time
yeah.
listening
since.
while I was eating.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
crazy. How's the weather there been as far as, is it
Me?
pretty normal up in your neck of the woods, or?
Oh yeah, up here it's just gloomy and gray. It's just gross, the usual. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if it's not raining, it's just cloudy. Yeah. It looks kind of
Um,
like what the color I'm wearing. Yeah, that's how it is.
yeah. And Jeff, New Mexico, just
Well, we have over 300 days of sunshine. Sorry to tell you guys, but we had
300 days of sunshine.
yeah, over 300. But it was we got snow overnight. It was cloudy this morning, and the sun's
Snow?
coming in and out today. Yeah, it snows here.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good to see you
First
too.
time
yeah.
I ever saw snow was in 1992 at the age of 31.
Where?
I was 31 years old when I first very saw snow
Where did you see it?
in Mount Kosciuszko,
Okay.
in near Canberra, bottom of New South Wales.
Okay.
I loved it. And I went skiing in 1996, 1997, 1998. Loved it.
nice.
Hey, Colin, do they get any snow in Honduras in the mountains?
No,
No. Okay.
no, no, no. There are about the
No
coldest.
snow in Queensland.
Yeah.
There's It's tropical. Oh,
But
Brisbane's like subtropical.
some places with high elevation will still get snow like way at the top.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we have. We don't have, even though in Central America, Honduras is the most mountainous country. We're just like pure mountains, but they're not like tall enough for that. But we do have
Okay.
there's one region of Honduras, which is kind of the western, like the west. So it's they say the occidental part of Honduras, which we'll get down to like in the 40s.
Oh, yeah.
There's times where it'll get that cool here, which is for here that's like freezing, and that's like death. But
Yeah.
most of the rest of the country, there's some more mild temperate areas
Yeah.
where it can get in
Queensland's
the 50s,
beautiful in
60s.
winter, but the summers are
Yeah,
yucky, like hot and sweaty. Hot and
right. That's
sweaty.
how it is here. Most of the time, that's how it is here. It's just
Yeah.
miserable.
In Queensland, you
Yeah.
have a shower, and you get out of the shower in summer and you just walk downstairs and you're sweaty again.
Yep.
Sweaty socks, sweaty
Yeah.
underwear, sweaty t-shirts, sweaty everything.
Yeah. I gotta have that AC. Definitely.
But winter is beautiful. Like winter's like 7 degrees Celsius to 24,
Oh, that's
which is
perfect.
about 45 Fahrenheit to 75
Yeah.
Fahrenheit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's perfect.
It's
yeah.
beautiful. Queensland's beautiful in winter. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. How's the so well I don't think of this group we have here today, I think as far as I've heard, because from I haven't heard anything in this group. You're the one, you don't have any cats, do you?
I do.
Oh, you do. Oh, okay. I must have missed that. Have you mentioned it before, or did I miss it?
I don't know if I've ever mentioned it.
I don't
Oh, I
recall.
have one cat. His name is Ollie, and
Ollie.
he's like a tomcat, but
Okay.
we got him when he was a little tiny kitten, but he's just a real stinker. He's not very nice, and every time I go on vacation, I like always he's biting whoever is the caretaker. So I have to
Yeah.
tell them like, listen, he's gonna try to act really nice, and you're gonna want to pet him. Do not pet him. He will bite
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
He's
This
just
one
bad.
bites,
Oh, a
but he's
plastic
never
cat.
drawn blood.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Cats are so bad sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're cute.
Sometimes
This is
that's
Tommy.
how they play. They actually sometimes cats show affection that way. They bite you, but
So bad.
I'll
all
put him
depends
back on his.
is he fixed though? Hell.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
fixed.
Okay. Oh, thank God. Otherwise, that'd be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I showed you guys because I did a live once when
Yeah.
I
You
had
did the
just
live.
taken
Yeah, I
him.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was in the
Oh,
back
okay.
seat here. Yeah,
Oh, why
he's
did
an
I not
orange
see
cat.
this? Where was I? Oh, I gotta go back
I
and
know.
find that. Yeah.
I'll have to show him more on my videos, but
Yeah.
he's not nice, he's kind of mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
love
good.
your
We'll
videos, Ellie, and I love your
Oh,
videos, Colin.
oh, thank you.
They're
thank you.
really
Thank you,
good.
Justin.
I enjoy. I watch the whole thing. I always
Oh,
watch them, and I'm
thank you,
looking forward to
Justin.
Jeff's channel
Me
when he gets
too.
one.
Me
Okay. When the
too.
moment's right.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
very glad Justin is a real one. He didn't cast me off now that I profess
Yeah.
my
And I'm happy you still
my
love me.
faith.
I'm an atheist.
Oh, absolutely.
You're very
Yeah.
That's how it should
lovable.
be.
Atheists are the most hated people on earth. They're the
Oh,
least trusted people. Atheists.
Now, why do you think
Just
that
above
is?
pedophiles, they're the most hated people on earth.
oh,
Why do you think that is?
Justin.
No, and there's 13 countries where they'll put you to death for being an atheist.
Hmm.
Maybe usually
Yeah.
Middle Eastern countries like
Yeah. Well, it's that's the way we are interacting here is how it should be. I mean, it doesn't affect me one way or the other. You want to be an atheist, and I was for a long time, so I certainly understand that. I'm not going to be all hypocritical now and act like, oh, I'm all
in
holy now.
Muslim countries.
Yeah. So
in Muslim countries, that like they lock up apostates in Muslim countries for 3 days in jail, and if they don't return to Islam, they behead them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, or hang
Sure.
them. But they give you 3 days to repent for being an apostate. Yeah.
They've got some crazy rules. Yeah, I have heard of these
But
crazy
in the
things.
Quran, it said you must smite the neck of the unbeliever.
Wow.
Yeah, smite the neck of an unbeliever, you know.
Well, that's why we, I don't know if, I think it was a little bit before L's time. If you go back and watch, I uploaded a video, this was quite a few months ago, about this. There's a report that comes out every year of this organization that keeps track of Christian persecution around the world. Which interestingly, they don't include the witnesses. The witnesses that they talk so much about persecution, and they're like the least persecuted.
No.
And when you look at like real Christians, they suffer. I mean, and they, and when you look at like what Justin was saying, now you want to talk about a real test of faith, there you go. Like if you profess to be a Christian and they're like, hey, you got 3 days or we're cutting your head off, and you stick by that, so I said, like in the video, like, hey, like the Watchtower, they won't send people into those countries.
Okay.
Or missionaries or anything. That's like, hey, let's see some real conviction.
I'll put your coffee there, Bubba.
Let's see some real.
Good girl, Bubba.
Let's see some real conviction from you guys, and see you go preach into those lands and face death, right, and face Satan and all of that. But they won't do that though. So you kind of see like how they're not really. I mean, they're not willing to do that. They're not going to go that far. But you have Christians. I don't remember all the statistics, but there was a lot. But it's thousands of Christians every day that are being, locked up, tortured, all this stuff in a lot of these countries, and so and it was really surprising on that list. Like they had the 50 countries that most persecute Christians, and it was kind of surprising, some of the countries that were on there. But what it was interesting though, unlike the like Watchtower rhetoric, Russia was not on that list. Russia was not on the list. So when you look
Russia's a Christian country. Vladimir Putin is Christian.
Right.
And he builds churches,
But he's Orthodox, right?
He's not a very good Christian, though. He's not. He's not Donald Trump's a real Christian. No, Donald Trump says he's a Christian, but he's not a very good Christian.
Yeah.
There's so many differences in this, because I know I had a little bit of backlash when I did my video, and it's like, here's the thing about Christianity is you can kind of pick and choose and do what you want with it. The way that I feel about it, I mean, there's so many variations to Christianity. I just feel for myself that, I mean, a lot of people were kind of offended, and I had some people that were gay that were like, hey, well, what the heck, and I'm like, wait a second. That's none of my business. I'm going to stay out of God's business, and I'm going to stay out of your business. That's none of my business. Like, I'm not concerned about what everybody else is doing. That's a little bit too much for me, but I'm going to do what I need to do. And for me, I'm going to do what feels right for me. And then maybe over time it will change too, you know?
When I left Watchtower, I visited 7 different churches. I visited a Catholic church, Seventh-day Adventist church, Uniting Church, and they were all Pentecostal talk. And I love going to church. And they just told me, just be quiet about my atheism. They said, they said, come, but be quiet about your atheism, and I said, "Oh, well, fair enough, you know." And one guy in the Baptist church had a go at me because I didn't believe in hellfire. I said, "How can you
Yeah.
love a God that
Oh my
burns
goodness. Yeah.
people eternally
Yeah.
in hellfire?
Yeah. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Just don't.
I mean,
have a
burn
cousin who's-
someone forever because they don't believe. You know, like a little child dies and goes to heaven, and the little child says to Jesus, "Where's my mummy, Jesus? Where's my mummy?" And Jesus says, "Well, your mummy was an atheist. She's burning in hell."
No. No, I don't believe in that.
But
I
that
really
guy over
don't.
there, he's a Christian, but he got executed. He got executed because he's a child rapist. That guy over there, he got the electric chair for being a child rapist. But before they gave him the electric chair, he became a Christian. And
Oh,
go and say
Mhm.
hello to him
huh.
because he's in heaven.
Yeah,
But
he's
we don't
saved now.
know. I don't know. That's not my
Yeah.
business. That's how I feel
You know
about
what I
it.
mean?
don't
Like
know.
it's like people become Christians just before they get the electric chair.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
people become Christian, you know, before
Well,
they.
and when you look at now, that was one of the, one of the big about faces that Watchtower did just a couple of years ago with one of their new lights was, you can repent even during the Great Tribulation, and you can come back
Yeah.
into the organization and get saved. So all of a sudden,
Yeah.
because that was when we were growing up, there was no last minute repentance. Absolutely not. That was a no, big no. And now all of a sudden, you see things going down, you can come back in, and the funny thing is I was like, yeah, I was actually happy. I was happy about that though, because I think it was Jeffrey Jackson that was giving that one, and correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was Jeffrey Jackson, but he's got that way of saying like he already knew how most of the brothers would react to that. Like, oh, we know what you're thinking, brothers. No last minute repentance, and he's like, no. He's like, you have to accept them back in, be loving, and I'm just like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, you got to take me back. Haha,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can always come in at the last minute, I guess.
Yeah.
Huh? But
I'm just like, hey,
it's so
hey,
weird.
man,
They change it all. It's just weird.
just remember, I made a video about that, and I was like, you better believe it, guys. I see shit start going down. I'm coming back. I'm coming. So you better.
I get to
have
sleep
your
in
arms
for
open.
centuries. Actually, as an atheist, I get to sleep in for centuries. Don't
Yeah.
wake me up.
Right. So I'm like, hey, in the meantime, I mean, that's the best damn deal I've heard for. So I'm just like, hey, just do what you want now, live your life, and then, hey, you start to see things going south, go run back to the Kingdom Hall.
I think if things are going south, that's the last place I would want to run. Those
Yeah.
people got a lot of blood on their
Yeah.
hands. You know what I mean?
Actually, the minister in the Presbyterian church, he said, because my sister suicided as an atheist, she won't be going to heaven, but she'll be going to hell.
Right.
That's what he said about my sister.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and that's in most Christian
Suicided
religions
as an
too.
atheist, and she won't be going. And this is what the Presbyterian minister said to me about my sister.
Wow. I don't like that. I don't like it. Estee is saying, what about Jehovah can read hearts?
Oh,
That's
sorry.
what I'm
Okay,
saying. That's what I
Right.
believe. God
Yeah.
can read
And
our
the guy in
hearts.
the
He
Baptist
knows.
church, the guy in the Baptist church, he said that Jehovah's Witnesses are going to go to hell because they reject hell. Because you don't believe in hellfire, you're going to go there. And he said it's blasphemy not to believe in hell because it's in the Bible.
That is
Well,
funny.
they already go. They go to.
Yeah.
I went to hell every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
Right?
Yeah.
Already been
To
there.
work, Jeff.
Yeah.
At work.
No, at the meeting.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
the meeting. Oh, yeah, hell. Yeah.
I know
yeah.
some people that live in hell like right now, and they're
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
mean,
If hell was
they can be
real,
interpreted so many different ways.
yeah, if hell was real, send me there, because I don't want to go to heaven and be a god with a sadistic god.
Here you go, Justin. Here you go. But yeah, I see what you're saying. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I know.
Actually, do many of the churches that you three visit now, like now, do they teach the hellfire doctrine? Do they teach it, or they're
Mm-mm.
Oh, I don't go to church, but the people I speak with,
you don't go to church? No, neither do I. I don't. Yeah.
I have a Baptist
No, I'm
cousin
done.
who I put something on Facebook and she defended the idea of hell, and I'm like, I'll just leave it there.
She's
Yeah.
a
And
Baptist. I mean,
there's a guy at work who
that's-
was trying to defend hell too. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm done with churches. That's
Yeah,
past history. Done with that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
me,
I'm all
it's
about, you know what? I'm all about living it. Live it instead of
yeah.
going to your building, show it.
Yeah.
Show it to
To
Yeah.
me.
me,
Show it
that's
to
what
how,
it is.
yeah.
It's about a relationship. It like church or not. It doesn't really matter if I went to
Mhm.
church or not, but it's all about that relationship, that the Jehovah's Witnesses took away from me, telling me, "Oh, I could never have that because I'm not good enough and God doesn't love me,
Yeah.
and in order to have a relationship with Jehovah, I need to go back to the Kingdom Hall."
Right.
It's just not
Yeah.
true, and they took that
Yeah.
away from me, and I'm like, wait a second, because me and God were pretty good for a while,
Yeah.
So now I just think of it like it's my relationship with Him.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
regardless of whether I go to church or not. That does not He does not care. He does
Yeah.
not care
Right.
And
where
they'll
I'm
use
going.
Luke chapter 16, Matthew chapter 25, and Revelation chapter 20 as their proof of hell.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to write those ones down. I don't have my Bible with me.
Yeah.
About the smoke of their torment, and the rich man and Lazarus in Luke
Yeah, the
chapter
rich man
16.
and
And
they
I
always
said
use
they're
the rich
just
man and Lazarus. Yeah,
illustrations. They're just because
yeah.
the Old Testament teaches when you're dead, you're sound asleep
Yeah.
Mhm.
until the resurrection.
Yeah. I just don't buy it. I don't. I think it's a great way for
Actually, the
people to keep
Seventh-day Adventists
us
don't
in
believe
fear.
in hell. The Seventh-day Adventists don't believe in hell. Like they don't believe in hell.
Right.
And they're
Which is where,
vegetarian. Actually, the Seventh-day Adventists, I went to their
Yeah.
church,
Yeah.
and they have a meal. Every time you go to the Seventh-day Adventist church, they say, Happy Sabbath. You go on a Saturday, and they have a vegetarian. And I said, why don't you eat meat? You don't eat meat or fish. You don't even eat fish. And they said, we don't want to cause animal suffering. Because every time you eat an animal, you're causing suffering to an animal. I said, the Bible says you can eat meat. And they say, well, we don't like causing animal suffering.
Mm.
And they don't drink alcohol. They don't have tea, coffee, or meat.
Yeah. They live for a long time.
Mhm.
I guess that they're one of those, what do you call them?
Healthiest
Centenarians.
Christians.
Yeah, centenarian.
Centenarians, right? Yeah, they're one of the longest living people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a guy at the dinner table, he was 102 years old. He was 102 years old. And he said he hasn't drank alcohol since he was 66 years old.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one of the teenagers at the table, I said, you've never eaten meat. You've never eaten meat. And this teenage girl, she said to me, oh, one time I accidentally ate some fish.
Yeah. And that's where Russell, Russell had he came through the Adventist movement.
Yeah, they're all cousins.
So you can see some residuals there in the Jehovah's Witness, faith as well. There's they all came from that time period.
Yeah, they came from the Millerites. Yeah.
Yeah, and
actually, they want to empty out the kingdom halls, ban alcohol. Ban alcohol, and they can sell more kingdom halls.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if that would fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they'd be real surprised if they start emptying Bethel out. They're gonna get a real shock.
There'd be a lot of disfellowshippings.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah,
That makes me
and a
think
lot,
of the
a lot of
Canadians.
people.
The
Yeah,
Canadians clearing out the American liquor now.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
be contraband now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
yeah, for sure.
world.
No, and people then like years ago, but when the other channel that I erased everything, I talked a lot about that. And there were people that just got so mad, and they were like, "That's
Hey,
not true,"
Mormons don't
you
drink
know.
alcohol. Mormons don't drink
Yeah.
alcohol either.
No. Well, hey, I'll give you a little insight on that though. They say that, but boy, you should see the missionary boys down here though.
Oh, they do drink the
They
Mormons.
oh yeah, they pack the beer away pretty heavily. Yep. I used to live in an apartment, and there were down below. I was on a second level, and right below us there was like 5 missionary boys. They're all like 19, 20, that were Mormons. And I go
Were
down
they
there and I
drinking
just
coffee liqueur?
yeah.
Coffee
Oh, and I would go down
liqueurs.
there, and I was in my post JW time there, and I was all just messed up. I was smoking and drinking, and I'd go down there and I'd have a 6-pack, and I'd just plop it down there, and I'd start talking with them, and I'd say, "Hey, I used to be a witness," and we'd start, getting. I'm just like, I'd tell them like, "Hey, I don't care about, like, I'm not going to argue religion with you guys, but I'm like, hey, have you met any girls?" And I get them like talking because they're like, these are boys from Utah, Wisconsin,
Yeah.
and they would have beer there too, and we'd start drinking together and like talking,
And
and
they'd have coffee liqueur. Coffee liqueur.
yeah, right. And so I get them going. Well, we start talking about like the women and stuff like that, and it was just hilarious because people, oh, Mormons don't drink. I was like, oh, really?
You know what's interesting? When they're on the mission, I found out the two of them are always, they never leave each other's sight.
Look at my
Oh.
demonic cup.
Is it like they're supposed to be chaperoning the other or something?
Yeah, they're always
Yeah.
like literally always inside of the other, except for when they have to take a shower, use the bathroom. Besides that, they
Look
have
at
to
my
be where they can
demonic
see each
cup.
other.
What? That's
Yeah.
weird.
Big
I
Beautiful.
wonder
lizard.
why. Safety or what? Or trust
It's
issues?
Leviathan.
Oh
Coffee
yeah,
cup.
Oh.
Not a good witness cup.
yeah. This is this comment here. PR. That's my wife. That's Patty. So hola, mi
Hey,
amor.
Patty.
Hello,
Hi,
Patty.
She's so sweet. I hope
She's
she had
checking
a
in on
great
me.
birthday.
Yes, it went very well. So Estee says this is a good one. What do JWs do during the annual memorial if you have issues with alcohol yet you're a partaker?
Good one. Maybe grape juice?
Yeah, maybe no, like a sommelier when they just spit it back out.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That could be. Yeah, maybe just taste it a little bit. Yep.
I would go back to the memorial to see that.
Last year,
Definitely.
I got invited to the memorial twice.
Oh, man.
Twice. Yeah. But I can't go. I can't go. I just,
That's okay. We won't hold it against you.
and they'll want to know why I'm an atheist. Like, because I'm not going to I'm not going to be embarrassed about being an atheist. Like it's something to be ashamed of.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be
So
hilarious?
I don't want to spoil their party. I don't want to spoil the party, I think Christianity's a good thing. There's a thing, a lot worse things than Christianity. I like Christianity.
Yeah, I think it's just, it's all about mutual respect. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Live and let live, to each his own,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That would be pretty hilarious, though, if somebody like relapsed because of the memorial.
Oh, man.
I'm an alcoholic now because I drink wine at the.
Oh, man.
I fell off the wagon. Hey,
I haven't had a beer since July last year.
Oh, why?
And it made my brain feel numb. And I thought, no, I don't want it. I want to be sober.
Okay. Yeah, same. Me too. Sober.
So I'm a sober bastard.
Me too.
That's good. Yeah.
Isn't
It's a
it
good
good being
feeling.
sober? I love it. I love being sober. It's like
Mhm.
being a little kid again. Because when you're a little kid, you don't drink alcohol. And I've given up marijuana. I don't have marijuana anymore.
Uh-huh.
And when I left Witnesses, I was having cannabis tea.
Mm.
Cannabis. I wasn't smoking cannabis. I was drinking cannabis tea.
I've never heard of that, but that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, drinking cannabis. I'd boil it up for 35 minutes with coconut oil, and it couldn't drive. It just knocks you.
Is
And
that
it
an
made me
Australian
lazy
thing? Is
See,
it
because of
Australian?
shunning. Because of shunning. If it wasn't being shunned, I wouldn't have had cannabis,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
Shunning
You're
helped me
numbing-
with, like, cannabis helped me get over the shunning.
Mm.
Yeah, you're numbing yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, it hurt so much. I needed something to kill the pain. It
Mhm.
bloody hurts. It hurts
Yeah.
so much. You know,
Yeah.
you know how much shunning hurts. Like it just, and I had to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
You
hear you,
know,
Justin.
it's-
Yeah.
It's painful. It's cruel. And what they're doing to cassette your lovely daughter, Colin, is so
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
That
It
is
is.
so criminal. You know.
I know. Yeah. We all feel that pain, Justin.
You
All
know,
of us.
and my dad suicided, and my sister suicided, and I feel for you, brother. I feel
Yeah.
for you, Ellie, and I feel for you, Jeff. I feel for you
Thank
all
you.
because it's not right.
Yeah.
No.
Jesus
It's
never
not.
shunned anyone. Like even doubting Thomas, he never shunned doubting Thomas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm not going to
Yeah.
talk to you, Thomas, anymore because you you didn't believe I got resurrected. You know, so go away. Not my friend no more."
No, and
Yeah,
that's
He was
so-
always loving to Thomas.
So Justin,
Yeah.
can I ask you how did you stop the cannabis tea? How did you stop
Well,
it? How did you get over that?
LSD. LSD.
So you went from one to the
LSD.
other?
I had a tab of LSD, and that got rid of all my depression. Now, which is a dangerous drug. It's a dangerous thing. I don't recommend it for anyone, but I had some LSD, and it got rid of all my suicidal thoughts, all my depression, and I was good for about 2 months.
Interesting.
But it made me an atheist.
Mm.
And I went to the Pentecostal church and I came out as an atheist. They said, "How are you going, Justin, at the Pentecostal church?" Because I was going every Sunday to the Pentecostal church. And I said, "Oh, good, I'm a born-again atheist." And they said, "Atheist?" And they all put me down. And when the priest was praying to Jesus, I was praying to Mother Nature. And he had a go at me after the service. He said, "You're praying to Mother Nature." And I said, "Well, I'm an atheist. I believe Mother Nature's God." And they were saying, "What are you doing in that church, though?" They said, "What are you doing in church if you're an atheist? What are you doing here?" You know, and they made me feel very unwelcome because I came out as an atheist.
Mm-hmm.
But the LSD is a dangerous drug. It's not a good thing. So don't have it. But I used to have LSD when I was 18. 1979, I had LSD between 1979 when I was 18 and 1984 when I was 23, and I gave it up. But I tried it again, and but now I don't have any drugs now. I don't have alcohol. I don't have marijuana. I just drink coffee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But shunning does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard.
You know,
Well,
they
it's
don't
not
want people to
exclusive to
turn to
Witnesses.
drugs. Don't
Yeah.
shun people.
Yeah.
Don't shun people. Because people take drugs. See, people turn to drugs and religion when they're in pain.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, of
When
course.
people are in pain, they turn to God, they turn to drugs, they turn to church.
Mm.
You know, don't shun, like love people for,
Yep, that's right.
you
Yeah, and you
know.
saw.
So it's you know, it's my fault, but I shouldn't have done it, but I did. But now I'm complete. I don't drink. I don't smoke marijuana. I'm totally sober now, you know.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
it's
awesome.
better that way. But you saw firsthand how that practice is not exclusive to witnesses. You know, when you went to that church, you know, that's a moment where the priest could have, you know, sat down with you and said, okay, so, you know, you're an atheist. Okay, good, brother. All right, let's talk. I'm glad you're
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
You know,
And the thing
instead
is,
of
they
right away,
still
like, what are you
invite me to
doing?
the
You know, and,
church, but they say, be
right,
quiet about your atheism.
right.
And I said, well, yeah, so I just don't go anymore.
Yep. It's like, what are they afraid of? Isn't your faith strong enough? You know, are you that worried about people doubting, or maybe you'll influence them, or, you know, seems like people are very insecure about uh their faith, their
Yeah.
religion, maybe, you know, but seems like to me, I know I don't see you as being a person who's going to try to, you know, lead other people away, you know, or anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
Because I love
it's like,
going to church. I do love church. I think it's a good thing. I think Christianity is a good thing. I
yeah, well,
think
that's
it's a
a
good
social
thing.
thing.
But when people take it too seriously and they start,
Right.
you know, do you really have Jesus in your life? Are you sure you're not going to go to hell when you die?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
they spoil it.
Right.
Jesus
Right.
was a nice guy, and I love all that, you know. But when they start judging you,
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, we don't, if Christians, like Elle was saying, you know, how that's not any of our concern. You know, if Christians really read their Bibles and understood that, which none of them do, you know, it's, you don't worry about what other people are doing. You don't judge them. Don't judge anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And in the meantime, you can still have a relationship with people. You can still love people, and whatever they're doing with their life, if they're, you know, gay, if they're this, if they're that, if they're whatever, okay, well, that's you have free will, right? Supposedly, that's your life.
I believe people are
And,
born gay. They reckon you've got a 5% chance of
yeah.
having a gay baby,
So,
and it's the brain.
and I don't know, you know, I don't know all the workings of that, how it works and everything. And so for me, I can tell you from personal experience, okay? It's a lot of energy, and it's a lot of baggage to carry around, judging people all the time.
Yep.
It's exhausting.
Amen.
Yep. So
Amen.
just let that go. Do what the Bible says. Leave that to God, and
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
love people. Okay, and they'll
Yeah.
get
Oh,
judged. He's going
definitely.
to judge
Oh,
them.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
so easy.
So
It's easy. Love is easy, you know?
yep.
Like there's
Oh,
no
yeah.
reason not to love somebody. You know, that's why we
And
all
do you
get
know,
along so
and
good
my beautiful
because
wife loves
no
me
judging.
unconditionally. Nicole loves me unconditionally.
Mhm.
She loves me, and it's so amazing.
It's
And
great.
she says I may be in paradise with her.
Yay.
Yeah,
Hey,
and
man,
it's nice.
that's progress.
You know what I mean? Like, as long as I'm a good person, you know, as long as you're a good person, God's Jesus was more concerned about, did you look after the poor? Did you help that person? Were you
Yeah,
nice and, you know, like hospitable? Were you
absolutely.
hospitable? Were you kind?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what matters the most. And that's what
absolutely.
Colin was talking about when somebody got so confused about the kingdom. It's like it's inside of you. It's something that
Yeah,
you are. It's not something that is like we can do all of those things without being that, you know,
Yeah,
waiting until we're
that's what.
somewhere else. We can do all of that now.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that's
yeah,
what
definitely. Yeah,
the
I think
person
it's a
was.
wonderful thing, Christianity, you know, and,
That's probably
you know,
the person that commented probably is a witness. Um, and they don't understand that because they're always like the guy, oh, that didn't make any sense. And it was like, well, the thing is, like the witnesses are always waiting for the kingdom, right?
Yeah, yeah,
The kingdom's gonna come, the kingdom's on its way, and it's like, okay, yes, it is. You're right, it is coming, but are you showing that it's already come in you,
Yeah.
right? By the
yes,
way you're
yeah,
So
acting,
yeah,
by the
yeah,
way,
yeah,
and that's
Yeah.
but what I mentioned to Elle, like some people, if you're not in tune with that, they can't understand that.
Yeah. And it's like,
yeah,
oh, don't
yeah.
even try. And
Yeah.
saying so many words, they still weren't going to get it anyway. And it's fine. No big deal. But I have to go. I got to go feed these kids.
Okay.
Okay.
Gonna
Oh,
feed those
good on
Three
you,
kitties, huh?
Ellie.
teenagers.
So good to see you, Ellie. You're wonderful. Love your channel.
I
Your
love your
channel
channel
is so
too.
good.
Oh, thank you. I'm starting to feel better, so maybe I'll have a video soon. But it's so good to see
Yeah.
All right.
everyone.
Thanks
We'll
for
see
All
stopping by.
you.
right.
I
Bye,
appreciate it.
Jeff. Bye,
All right.
Justin.
See
Bye,
you.
Colin. Okay.
Catch you
Bye-bye.
later,
Thanks for
El.
being here.
Bye-bye. Have a great weekend.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
so that's
Trinity.
the
We're a Trinity
yep,
now.
we're at Trinity now. Back to the Trinity. Well, yeah. So as I mentioned at the beginning, I just wanted to come on shortly today, and I'm gonna get going as well. And also for anybody else that's watching today, and Justin, I appreciate your trust and your confidence and feeling open enough to show your emotion and show your hurt on here and all of that. And I appreciate that, and that's why we're here. And to have a moment, to have a space where you're safe, where you're in the company of other people that we understand. If you need to cry, if you need to express something, this is where we can do it because we're the only
Yeah,
people that understand what's going on, where we
yeah,
can talk about these things. And anybody else that's watching
yeah.
this live
And
as
I
well.
love your channel,
Yeah.
Colin. And
Well,
I'm
thank you.
happy. I'm happy that you've got Jesus. I really am. I'm happy, and I'm happy people have faith. And 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 I'm happy, because I'm 64 now. 64. Like in April, I'm going to be
Mhm.
64, and I think, wow, and
Yeah.
whatever happens, I'm still agnostic. I'm still I think everyone should be agnostic.
Hmm.
Like whatever happens, I don't know, but I'm glad I'm 64. I'm glad I'm
Yeah.
not 34 or 44 or 24. I'm glad I'm at
Hmm.
the age, um, you know, and I've had a great life. Oh, wonderful life. No one has a good life.
Absolutely. And there's much more
Not one
ahead.
of us
Yeah.
have a good life.
Yeah. It's much more ahead as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
64 is young. Yep. So I
yeah,
want to
yeah.
thank all of you guys. Jeff, I want to thank you for being here. Justin,
Okay.
I got to get going as well. Thank you for joining us. Thank
And
you
we're
for being
all
here
going to
with
get a
us.
pet panda. We're all going to get a
Yes.
pet panda.
Hey.
You'll have a
Yep.
pet panda. Jeff, you'll have a pet panda. And
Absolutely.
Ellie will have a pet panda. We're going to get that pet panda.
Yes, we will. Absolutely. All right, guys. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for being here,
Okay.
and we'll see you in the next one.